a little younger in this one. 2003 IndyCar Championship. For me, I think this year, was where it kicked off. The strong partnership with Chip, obviously. I started earlier the year previous in 2002 with him after parting ways with Pac West, but I think for me this was just complete shock. I remember seeing the check for $1 million and Chip ripping it and giving half of it to me. And I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. I'm not sure where that check is, I need to find it. This all started with my lovely blonde hair, bleached blonde hair, with a bet with the team, Pac West, and I think it started with if we won a race that I would have to dye my hair myself and my engineer Rocky, who is now with Red Bull Racing. That's how I had it, and I actually continued it on for several months, which I'm not sure what that says about me, but I'm guessing I thought it looked pretty cool back in those days. This was a shocker, to come from, I think we were maybe 4th or 5th or 6th in points going into the last race. We needed to win, we needed to get most laps led, and we needed Montoya to finish outside the top 6 or something. It was a long shot, double points. And for me, the funniest story was I was backstage and I hear the crowd out front, roaring and a bit of laughter here and there, and then Chip walks back and says, "Hey man, you've got to go out and crowd surf." And he had apparently just done it, so I was told to. Went out there. I asked him which way I go, face first or back. He said, "You go face first." That was a bad decision. I think if you ever crowd surf, you need to go on your back. He's an oldie but a goodie. This was Nazareth, 2001. For me, I think I qualified horribly. Started towards the back, spun in the warm-up, missed the wall. So whenever you do that on an oval, you're pretty lucky. So maybe that started the lucky part of the day. But we played a massive fuel strategy there, and I was so unsure of when the race finished. I still went through the kink flat, didn't know the checkered flag was out. Slower car, actually hit that slower car on the cool down lap, got a flat tyre, and you can see from all the pictures in Victory Lane, I've got a flat right rear where I collected another car, which I thought the race was still going on. So that was a big party too. I remember walking home early the next morning, still in my same clothes. It was quite the celebration, but that was really cool. Loved that track too. Nazareth was fantastic. Hell of a teammate, great guy, and it was a special day for us. I think to hit the speeds that we did, the fastest speeds since Ari's, about 30 years ago. So obviously the race played out totally different. So that was some of the highs and lows, and this was right before, or several hours before we went to Taco Bell too, which was an interesting occurrence. Oh, I remember this one too. Indianapolis 500, 2003. We had a super fast car, and unfortunately we had a fuel pickup issue. So every time we got to half tanks, the car would run out of fuel or starve itself. But we managed to stay on the lead lap. We led a lot of laps that year. Had we not had the fuel issue, I think we definitely would have been a huge contender to win the race. But this was definitely a questionable moment in my career. Under caution on the front stretch, spun out under yellow. Very cool one here, 2008 Indianapolis 500 win. Remember so many things of this day, but for me, still going through turn 1 flat, didn't know it was the last lap until the team came on the radio. It's just a super special moment. You see all these replays during the month of May of people drinking the milk, wearing the wreath, kissing the bricks, and to actually be in that scenario is something that I and Emma and I will never forget. That was the perfect year. Getting married in February, winning the 500 in May. Emma falling pregnant later that year for our first daughter, Poppy, and winning the championship also. That was a big one. Mario. The coolest thing about Mario is that, for me, is that he's still at the track. You know, the stories that he has, you know, what he's seen, the formulas that he's raced in across so many different platforms, configurations of cars. There's very few people that are like Mario and the passion that he has, and you still see it to this day, you know, even when he's driving the two-seater, and, you know, how he wants new tyres on all the time and tries to do the fastest lap. And for me, still to this day, is I just love the fact that, you know, you can walk up to him at the track now and ask him about any year, and you know, what he knows about that race, you know, specifically what happened, and, you know, the people that were there. I don't know, it's you don't get to see that too often in sporting, you know, throughout the sporting world. So I don't know, I feel personally very lucky to still see him around, and as everybody else does too. So absolute legend, Mario. That's a cool photo, man. Love the cowboy hat. He's rocking it. I think for me, the first memory of AJ is actually probably at the speed, well, seeing, you know, reruns from the speedway, and him, you know, smashing his car with a hammer, trying to fix it, getting out, you know, slapping Ari in the face. You know, there's just so many things that pop out with this guy. He's such a big character. Very similar to Mario with what, you know, he's achieved as far as championships, Indianapolis 500s, outright victories. I love AJ. He's a hell of a guy, a big character, and another one that's full of amazing stories. But these two are just, you know, outright legends of the sport, and you know, people that I've looked up to throughout my career, and always will.